probiotics.
Okay, sir.
Madam.
Good afternoon. So
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Nice to hear you.
Ours is the Central Food Technological Research Institute.
Sure.
Exactly. And I am heading a food microbiology department. So our research activities are very closely what you are doing and what you are going to talk today. So very pleasure to looking forward to see you.
Yeah. So basically, I like to show some our traditional Bangladeshi fermented food that have been usually we are consumed.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, these are the typical Bengali.
So if you
Yes, sir.
Yes,
if you visit
only.
south part of India, you will come across with the several different fermented food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Millet, cereal based, cereal legume based, mostly acidic fermented products. Exactly.
And we people are love fish, so we have many fish items. Those are fermented.
Yes. I am aware about the fermented fish product also.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
we had a collaborative project with Tripura.
Okay.
With Central Agriculture University Tripura.
Yeah.
And we worked on Sidal fish.
Sidal. That one also too popular in our some region. That is Sidal fish. And especially the Hilsha fish, they make it salty item. Salty.
Yes.
They cover with the earthen pot and with the salt, and they just dig the soil and give it for fermentation. So in the off season they can use.
Exactly.
Dr. Suhita.
Yes, sir. Okay.
You can start now.
But sorry, I cannot share host disabled participant screen sharing.
Yeah. 1 minute.
Okay.
Now I have made you co-host.
Yeah. I cannot put my slide.
Now possible.
Now okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Today we are glad to invite Professor Tanzima Yasmin, Department of Biochemistry. Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, University of Rajshahi. And today's topic is traditional fermented foods as natural immune boosters. She's a professor and director of the Institute of Biological Sciences, University of Rajshahi. And she's a chairman and Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. And she is she has published several national and international publications, and she has invited speaker for national and international conferences. And recently she's working on a project which is funded by Rajshahi University, which is entitled as Assessment and Molecular Identification of Arbuscular Mycorrhizal Fungi on Rice Varieties in Rajshahi region. And she's a member of editorial board for Journal of Biosciences, Institute of Biological Sciences, Rajshahi University, and Proceedings of International Conference of Biotechnology in Agricultural Industrial Environment, Journal of Microbial World, and Plants and Ecosystem Journal. So today we are, it's very fortunate to have your lecture, ma'am. So now I request you to please start the lecture. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Just I would like to mention 1-2 words about the Microbiological Society of India. So Professor Deshmukh sir, he is the president, and for him, I'm almost I travel a lot in Maharashtra and see the many people, many college and scientists over and all over the India. I think it's a great opportunity to share some talk or some ideas with others. So today I'm going to show some slides about the our traditional fermented food, and they act as a natural amino booster. So I think most of the audience are, the participants are from PG level, and is it graduate students? Most of the audience are?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I just make some introduction that the last 2 years we were facing that the crisis COVID-19. That time everyone we are focusing to keep our health good and to survive with the fight with the COVID-19. And so all our people in our country, I think all over the world, we are try to boost our immune system with the eating of healthy food and nutritious supplements and all this. That time, everyone was focusing on to boost their immune system, so immune rich nutrient. So because that is our body always absorb nutrient, and actually we are taking our food from plant origin and animal origin also. But those are fresh fruits, vegetables, and nowadays we are habituated our young generation with the processed foods and supplement. But the natural foods and the traditionally how we prepare the food, these are the boosting, immuno boosting system. So I will focus on this. And from microbiology student, everyone is already known about fermentation. This is the metabolic process. Actually, that sugar, it's converted in the form of ethanol or alcohol, and usually they produce energy. And for this reaction, microorganisms are responsible. Especially, we know all about that yeast. It is very common to all our different country in different species. And fermented food, this is not a new concept. It's a that fermented foods are originated from ancient time also, and in different country they have their own traditional fermented food. And after fermentation, the food get their highly nutritious value, especially vitamin K2, different minerals, and also that organism we call it probiotic. Nowadays, all of us are aware of antibiotic, excess use of antibiotic or abuse of antibiotics. So for good health and better health, we are now taking probiotics and prebiotics also. Nowadays, these two terminology is very popular, prebiotic and probiotic. So we have to consume this kind of food to keep our immune system, to boost our immune system. So what are the importance of fermented food? There are many importance. First of all, it improving the food security, food preservation, and also it's solving the wastage of food and removing of anti-nutritional factors, because some of the food, they have some anti-nutritional factor. After fermented, that anti-nutritional factor is metabolized, and they produces extra vitamin, extra mineral, and ultimately they have a very good health benefit and improving our digestive system, and they also produce a different form of acids. And in Bangladesh, there are a lot of wide variety of fermented product are available in countries. Some are cereal based, some are fermented fish. We are already talking about the professor, he is working on the and because Bangladeshi people loves rice and fish, so we have also for different fermented fish, fermented legumes, dairy products, alcohol beverages, and fruits, vegetable also. Like Indian people, we also have that chutney, achar, etc. These are the common. Rice is our staple food, and rice, when it is left over, we soak it in the water, and that after that fermentation, that rice also being rich in nutrient, and they are rich in vitamin B16, vitamin B12, and essential bacteria they develop, and they are more than iron level also increased after fermentation. That if we cook 100 gram of cooked rice, after that it's about 3.4 milligram of iron we get. But the same quantity of rice we fermented it after 12 hours, the content has increased 73, more than 74%, at least near about 75%. And sodium also level also increased, potassium, calcium also went up. And definitely we get extra due to the fermentation, we also get extra energy. And there are some sort of rice variety that is fermented, that is puffed rice, flattened rice, and these are very good source of probiotic also. And after fermentation, the food value has been changed, and that microflora, that was our gut bacteria, they are digested proteins and carbohydrates and control our blood sugar, easily digestible. And this is also rich in iron and calorie also lower. And some more fermented cakes, rice cakes, so that is called pita. In this, after winter, we have a season. That time, new rice is harvested, and that time we have we called it Novanno or pita. There are lots of rice-based product. So this time,
Dr. Yasmin, slides are not moving, I believe.
yeah, is it
Shall
up?
Yeah,
Stop
slides are not
sharing.
moving.
Shall I try again?
You are in the first slide only.
Only, my God. So is it, because I already passed so many slides.
Yeah, that is what actually.
Yeah,
Traditional
yeah.
fermented food as natural immune boosters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now?
Food, yes. Now it is moving. Yeah, exactly.
Now
If
it's
you can
moving.
make a full screen. Yes. If you can make
Yeah.
a full screen, will be much better.
Yes. Now it's moving?
Please make, yes, it is moving. Please make it a full screen.
Yeah, I make it a full screen. So these are our rice fermented food. Now it's moving. Is it moving?
It's not moving, ma'am.
Why? Now?
Yeah, now it's coming.
Okay. So this is the flattened rice, and is it?
Muri and Chira.
Yeah, chimuri and chira rice. Okay.
And it is a full screen. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. This is also one kind of fermented food that is very popular in our hilly region. They have some sticky rice like Chinese, Japanese rice. So they make it one kind of fermented rice with honey and that coconut that they call it muthu bhat. That is the sweet one. They put jaggery if they want to make it sugar. They made jaggery, milk, and with the grated coconut in this after winter season or during winter. This is very popular food, and there are lots of fermented food product in Bangladesh, and especially that brown rice, that is the whole rice grain, and they make it brown rice, organic brown rice. They sprout it and make fermentation, and they ate it. This is also very traditionally used, and with that they are induced more nutrient available and much bioavailable and reduce anti-nutritional property. after that sprouting and that fermented rice, and they break down the anti-nutrients, gluten, lectin, phytic acid, etc., and makes it more digestible and more energy, and it's was really tasted in previously. Nowadays, people are not familiar with the brown rice. They are fond of white rice, but nowadays, again, the campaign about the importance of brown rice, so people are trying to move the backward. Definitely white rice nowadays, everyone is getting conscious about the importance of what are the importance of brown rice and the brown rice protein and the getting extra vitamin and the nutrient. So papor, I think it is very common to India, also Bangladesh, also there are they make it with the cereal and millet and the dal like pulses, and this is one of the typical Bangladeshi uh, fermented food with the vegetable that it wax gourd and with the black gram. We call it buri. It's like it looks like a white one, and especially in the winter season, that Bengali traditional fermented one and dried. And all season we can use it as a curry with the vegetables also and the fish, any curry. So it is really tasty, and it can last you can use throughout the year. So that is the typical Bangladeshi chal kumra puri, we call it. And it's the taste and texture, it is really interesting and wonderful. And fermented fish, previously I mentioned, there are lots of fish in Bangladesh. So during rainy season, many fish is there, but in the dry season, that time fish is getting less, and people are after catching the put in the earthen pot and they cover it and keep under the soil and make in different with sorry, they mixed with some spices and others, and they can use like this cake, and there are lots of uh, recipe for this fish. We call it shidol, and this is the hilsha fish. This is our national fish. Actually, it is a sea fish, but while hatching and while mating, they come to the river, and that time, and the sale fishermen, they harvested, and it is only the seasonal fish. So for the, it is a very good, because of the sea fish, it's a very good quality of omega-3 fatty acid, and it has that it can prevent coronary heart disease and development of brain, reduce cholesterol, and reduce gout, arthritis, pain, anxiety. It's a very good source of other vitamins and minerals, and they make it they just slices and keep it with the salt and put it in the earthen pot, and they make it the nona ilish we called, and all season you can have this fish. So there are lots of preparation, different areas, there are different type of fishes, and you can see there are lots of pots they are covering, and they are doing that fermented fish. So different fish, and so name also different. This is chapa shutki, that is dried one, but the preparation and the process almost same. But the fish and with that different fish, and so that protein content, nutrient content, and other content, energy contents, mineral contents, they're different because of the fish species and the Napa fish. This is also some our tribes, they make it the shrimp and other fishes, and because of the sea fishes, they have that different minerals, and after that fermented, they are rich in nutrient, definitely. And the process of fermented fish after harvesting, how they do, and all sort of processes. They are the tribal people, Rakhine people, they are preparing. And bamboo shoot also, this is typical our the tribal people, they that is actually their preparation. And the bamboo shoot, they are very good source of nutrient like protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and plenty of nutraceuticals, and also they have some anti-nutrients. After fermentation, that anti-nutrients is remove that bitterness and the taste, and that chemical compound also hydrolysis and the change in their property. And after collecting the bamboo shoot, they process and they ferment it, and different way it can be said. And we have a very interesting the fermented dairy products in Bangladesh, because in India that yogurt, that is the sweet one, that is we call mishti doi. That is the sweet we added. It is from the jaggery, and from there are different fermented dairy products. So, sorry. And they have prepared different drinks also, and especially for biryani or the rich diet. So we make it one drinks that is called borhani. They make some herbs, some spices with that yogurt, and especially that is when we have a sorry very rich diet, that time it is consumed as a drink. So this is the sweet product. We have a plenty of sweets, and the sweets originated from the curd and cheese curd by cow milk, and Bangladesh is very famous for sweets and different types of sweets, and there are so many sweets, and especially one cheese that is also the traditional fermented cheese, we call it Dhakai cheese, and ghee clarified butter. And one more so interesting mustard paste. That mustard seed, we make it with the fermentation that we call kashondi, and it can use as a with that green mango or any sour fruits. We just mix it, and it become the balance of the sourness, and the taste make better. So this is also typical Bangladeshi fermented mustard paste. And these are the our tribal they have their own drinks, that is they make themselves in the small scale at their house. So these are the process of tribal arok, the traditional Tripura drink. So that is in a small scale in the kitchen, they are preparing their herbal drink. And this is also one plant here that is muhua, Moduca longifolia. Especially that tea garden and workers, they consume that type of drinks, and she is preparing in her kitchen. So muhua seeds, and from there that beverage are using, and that is that date tree and the winter season, and so they are cutting the tree and collecting the juice, and after that juice is fermented, it is studied. That is also the lower class people, usually some people, they drink it, and they are have the different health benefit. They are fight against cancer, riboflavin, containing rich containing vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and it has different benefit for cardiovascular disease and promotes also lactation. And that is that our some people, especially those who work in the as a scavenger or like that people, they drink it. That is, they make with that cereal and the rice sustainer. They use that leftover rice or sometimes wheat. They use, especially with the rice, they make it, and that is called Bangla Mop. That is the homemade setup, and to, that is plum tree, and this toddy drinks is very popular our coastal areas, and the people, the tribal people, they have that type of very popular drink, toddy drink. And two, this is also herbal drinks, especially that sorry, tribal, they prepare it when they have a festival and all this type season. On that time, they consume that drinks, and they said it's a very holy drink. And after that is child birth, before birth, they drink that type of chew. So, and Bangladesh also have a good quality of tea, and there are some species of tea: black tea, white tea, red tea, and it depends upon the fermentation and conditions, and whatever the condition is there, and what kind of bacteria is there. After that, they have that fermented tea, and the color and the price is also depend upon that quality of tea. And coffee also, but we don't have a too much more, not much coffee industry or something, but in a small scale, they are producing, and that with that fermented technique, we are getting fermented coffee. And especially what are our health benefit after eating this fermented food. And one study was there about the impact of diet in shaping gut microbiota, but that is compare study with the children, and there are different scenarios there that after taking the probiotic or fermented food, that gut microbiota have different origin and different sources and different amounts. And nowadays people are getting interested about the processed food and fast food. So too much fast food intake, it has a direct effect on that microbiota, and the gut microbiota are ultimately that affect our immune systems, and that our organs, different organs are getting inflamed, and we are having losing our immune system. So now it is that excessive fatty food and processed food we should avoid, and we have to concentrate about that, improve our gut organism, because there are trillions of microbes lives in our gut, and we that gut microbes that boost our health, and all disease. And now we can also predict after 10 years or after 5 years, what about the community is living inside the gut. So it can a predictor your health problem. Even in that skin disease, many we have that nowadays people are having, and that immune response diseases, less immune, and due to the taking of excessive fatty foods, and we are losing, getting different infection, having infection, and taking antibiotics, and getting nowadays antibiotic resistant. So our microbiota colonization is hampered. And not only that, gut microbials, it can be promoting colitis. And one study have been shows here that a metabolic syndrome diseases, the effect of the dietary emulsified, that in the mouse, and it reduces the bacterial diversity, increased level of inflammation, promoting bacteria, increased intestinal permeability. And so different study have shown that how the gut microbiota have influence on different chronic diseases. So how that fermented food can restore our bacterial balance in the intestines, even probiotic and prebiotic. So prebiotic we are getting from vegetables and fresh fibers, what we are taking. So that can be used for the food of that microbiomes. And and our digestive system also boosted because they absorb that nutrients, and they battle the harmful bacteria and eliminate toxins. So toxins are not are eliminated from the body, and we can boost our immune system with that use of fermented food. So, and that bad bacteria will be replaced by the good bacteria, can, and much more colonies there. And with this eating that fermented food, so easily it can be digested, and the simple sugar is converted to fermented products, and we can have that energy, and it can be improve our availability of the nutrients. And so the with that fermented food, it with the help of the increase our health potential and anti-nutritional content of the food, it metabolized, and it available for mineral availability, and it lower the glycemic response and break down the all kinds of protein. And after digestibility is improved, so that high fiber cereals, whatever we are eating, so it can be reduces that obesity. That obese persons, they always suggested to take lots of fiber. And not only that, physical health is related with the fermented food. There are lots of studies have been shown that mental anxiety, stress, and behavior, these are directly connected with the gut microbiome. So that if we take probiotic bacteria, so that can be work not only for our stomach, not only on the gut, it can be good functioning for the brain, and definitely our moods and our behavior. So it improves differently with the less our anxiety. Nowadays, people are due to our lifestyle, we are always in stress condition. Lots of antioxidants is our body is producing, and ultimately the depression, anxiety, stress. So our physical activity and mental health nowadays is a big concern. But that fermented food. It can be reduced, improve our moods, our behavior. Even the fermented food that can be improve our heart health, and it reduces the hypertension and improvement also with the cholesterol balance because of the high content of niacin, calcium, magnesium, folate, vitamin D, and the immune system when our all the body is stronger and that we are become less ill, then definitely our immune system will be boosted, and with it all fermented food that maintain our immune system health will be better, and there will be low risk of cancer and chronic inflammation disease and gastrointestinal stress, the diarrhea, IBS. So those are the diseases, they destroy our good bacteria, and we can replace our good bacteria to our gastrointestinal system. So there are, in a summary, there are lots of health benefited from consumed fermented food, because of that bacteria that produces new enzymes, they assist to digestion, and food, these are the benefited probiotic organism we are consuming, and it improving our intestinal health, enhancing our immune system, and synthesis and enhancing the bioavailability of nutrient, and reducing symptom of lactose intolerance, decrease the prevalence of allergy, and reducing certain type of cancer. In a short, if we are intake fermented food that is in different forms, and so there are we balance normal intestinal microbial biotic consumption, and it could be control the irritable bowel syndrome and suppress the endocrine system, antibiotic resistance, and then suppress the diarrhea, and there are also metabolic effects, so less toxic or mutagenic agent decreases, and reduce the risk of colon on cancer and all these type of colitis, and lactose hydrolysis, improve lactose intolerance and bile salt deconjugation secretion. So it lowers the serum cholesterol level, and immunomodulation and immune balance response. So control the immunoinflammatory bowel diseases and allergy symptoms and infections, and strengthen our innate immunity. So that are plenty of benefited from them. We can have this fermented food. So this is all for today. Thank you everyone for listening me. And due to problem, the slide was disturbed. Sorry for that interruption. So
yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, and that was really a wonderful lecture. Just
but
we
sorry,
had,
my
and
throat
yeah,
has been stuck. Okay.
it was really wonderful lecture.
Oh, thank you very much.
Traditional knowledge of fermented foods. And now the session is open for any questions.
Question or query?
Yeah, if anyone is having any questions, please. Yeah, Madhumita Barora.
Yes, hello, thank you.
Yeah, please.
Dr. Tanzima, quite
a
coverage that you have done on fermented foods. Very interesting. You've covered not only for Bangladesh, but you have also covered some parts of our India. For example, you have taken Garo people, and you have also talked about Tripura. So quite an extensive, I must say. But I was just wondering, because you have given us a general perspective of the fermented food. You mentioned about nutritional boosters. So have you done any research to know that they contain bioactive compounds?
Because I make it a popular topics for all. That's why I didn't put all the data.
But what about some immunoboosters that you can find in the traditional fermented foods? For example, you started off talking with fermented rice, panta bhat, which is a very popular dish in Bangladesh, and for the even in Eastern India. So, do you find any, bioactive compounds out there?
Yeah, because there are a lot of bacteria that are fermented with that rice. And interestingly, they are having much more energy is there. And some nutrients, especially the mineral composition, and they have changed after fermentation.
There's change for more? There's change for better?
Yeah, just because of that iron containing calcium and all the nutrients. They after fermentation and they are much more, especially iron near about it is 70% and it's increased.
Yeah, but why do you think they have increased? Why do you
Because
think
sorry?
Why do you think the availability increases, especially the micronutrients?
Especially that vitamins and minerals contents are changing because there are lots of some anti-nutrient factor is there. Some anti-nutrient factor also become digestible. That phytate contents, other content, they are hydrolyzed and I think they produces that after that microorganisms, they also have the capacity to produce that type of nutrient.
You mean the anti-nutritional factors like phytic acid bind to these minerals and they don't make them available. So once during the fermentation process, the phytic acid, the phytic acid degrade and that's how they make the nutrients more available. But that's not only with fermentation, even with cooking and soaking also, we can decrease the fermentation process. And what about the probiotic? You also find some other nutritive bioactive compounds, many compounds are also there in panta bhat, which can boost our immune system. You have, for example, you have lactate, propionate, short chain fatty acids, which boost our immune system, and also they act as prebiotic system to increase the probiotic bacteria like lactic acid bacteria that you find. That is one thing. But about fermented fish, in fermented fish also you talked about hidol and you talked about other fermented fish products. So there also you find the increase in nutrients. What are the bacteria that mostly occur in this fermented fish products? What are the dominant bacterial microflora?
Okay, there are some interesting bacteria is there. Sorry. Just a minute. There are some bacteria is working here.
Could it be bacillus? The dominant ones are bacillus. They break down many of the compounds, the fat
because
compounds.
they make
protein in the fish. Anyway, it's okay, Dr. Azim. I'll have a look and we'll see these papers. Anyway, your talk was very interesting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm done.
So good afternoon, madam.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your very interesting lecture on the wide range of fermented foods and these alcoholic beverages of Bangladesh and some parts of India also.
Yeah,
I'm on-
because that
I'm-
the tribal
yeah.
people, they are also from Bangladesh also. The Tripura, Chakma, all are from
Yeah,
Bangladesh
yeah,
region.
yeah, yeah. So, madam,
yeah.
I also work on fermented foods of North Bengal and
Yes.
Northeast,
Yeah,
and I have completed my PhD postdoc on fermented food only, and
Yeah.
now I'm working as an assistant professor in the Darjeeling in the
Okay.
Kaohsiung College,
Okay,
Darjeeling,
okay.
West Bengal,
Yes.
West Bengal.
Yes,
So,
Bengal, yes.
yeah, ma'am, I'm working on fermented alcoholic beverages. So, ma'am, I wanted to know that you also pointed out. I saw your slides. You showed us this tari, khajur tari, or palm wine, known as tari. So, have you done any like microbiome study, any lab work there to just find it out that what are the dominant microbiome or microbiome there? Have you done any lab work, ma'am, to find
No.
out the microbial communities there?
No, actually, directly, I don't have this data, but
Okay.
some other they have. So that's why I didn't mention.
Okay, madam. Okay. So, ma'am, basically, you are working like documentation or lab also, ma'am, lab based also.
Yeah,
Generally, you are
but not
documenting.
all. I just make some. No. Some I have that, but for all, no. For all the slide I have been shown, these are not mine. All are not my work, but
Okay.
some I have. But for traditional view, I just show all these
Okay.
because.
And
Okay.
ma'am, one more thing, kasundi, the fermented
Yes.
fermented paste,
Yeah.
mustard paste, famous in North Bengal
Mustard.
also. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, have you done any microbial analysis, microbiome analysis? Kasundi?
No.
No. Okay. So,
And one more,
and
we have interesting that, please.
And yeah, ma'am, yeah. You finish, ma'am, then I will ask.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, ma'am, and one more thing, ma'am. This
Yes.
you also talk about dal bari, different types of dal bari.
Yes.
Very very health promoting fermented food, I know. So, ma'am, any like health affecting or health benefiting role have you checked in the lab, ma'am?
Yes, we
In
have
dal
some
bari?
data. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And pantabat, ma'am, similarly, pantabat also have checked
Pantavat
microbiology.
also. Yes, we have also some pantavat.
So, ma'am,
Yeah.
can you kindly help us to say that what are the dominant microbiome there, dominant microflora there in
Especially
pantabat?
pantavat, there is the lactic acid bacteria is dominating.
Oh, yeast also there, ma'am, yeast and mold.
Yeast mold, not yeast mold we don't get, but we get that lactic acid lactic acid bacteria.
Achha. And have you, ma'am, also checked like their some ma'am, primary and secondary metabolites, bioprospecting aspect also have you checked, ma'am? Primary and secondary
Yes.
metabolites.
There are some we have started.
Okay, thank you very much,
Especially
ma'am.
we get that iron containing is higher mostly. Iron and that calcium content and vitamin B6, B12, these are higher in Panthavat.
Okay, madam.
Compared to even potassium, calcium, these are higher.
Okay, madam. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your informative lecture. And I will be in your contact,
you will
ma'am.
in
I will
touch.
contact you.
You are in Darjeeling, so
I'm in
if I
Darjeeling,
go
ma'am.
there, I will just say hello to you.
I have, ma'am, I got one major project on fermented food and a small project on I'm running 2 projects on fermented foods now.
Yeah. So we can talk later.
We can collaborate. We can work together, ma'am.
Yeah. We can collaborate. We can.
I will mail you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you,
nice
madam.
Welcome.
You want to ask a question, Dr. Kirti? Dr. Kirti,
Yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, looking at the topic, I found the work very interesting, and I just wanted to know, like, how the immunomodulatory effects of fermented food can be studied in lab.
Because if we can some mice experiment we did that but for human we have to check the immune level system, and then we have to take the blood sample. But for human we need some ethical permission and consideration. So and for sample collection it is we need some procedure. So for human usually we cannot take bloods and all this experiment, but we easily we can do the mice experiment by animal experiment.
Ma'am, which kind of mice can be used for the experiment?
Usually in we use albino rat, and some if you albino rat is very common, we can use as a for animal experiment. But for human experiment, we have to take permission and ethical consideration. There are lots of procedure, and sample collection is also everyone. You have to give them fermented food or non-fermented food. We have to select the subject. There are lots of procedure. So easily, it's better to do laboratory scale for animal experiment.
Ma'am, have you done any in vivo experiments in your lab regarding the immunomodulatory?
We have some animal experiment. Yeah.
Oh, ma'am, what are the kinds of the results that you have got? I would like to know about that, ma'am.
Because if we go for ELISA test and immunological test, then we can have some different findings with that fermented food we just gave to the for a food supply for the food with the food and without fermented food, then we can make the parameter compare, and we can easily calculate or compare with the fermented food with the non-fermented food.
Non-fermented. Ma'am, actually, which parameter should we look for if we study immunomodulatory effect?
Then we have to go for immunological parameters. So with the ELISA, we have to go through the all parameters. That for the allergy or infection, we have to go inflammatory parameters, and what parameters we are going to check with that. What is our target?
Okay, we have to go. I had worked on the in vivo study of cholesterol lowering lactic acid bacteria. So I have an idea about the cholesterol lowering, but I didn't have an idea about immunomodulatory.
Cholesterol, and then you have to cholesterol lowering. Then you need to feed them as a cholesterol rich food.
Yes,
and yeah, different composition. You just select which one, then it rises the cholesterol level and compare with that. Those are without high cholesterol level or fatty food. So first you have to produce a high level, and then you screening all the blood parameters and lipid profile. Then you can easily compare, easily check all the lipid profile, and you can conclude what is the change is going on. And finally, you can have the tissue. You just sacrifice the mice and the tissue. From the histopathological study, easily there will be the difference between control one and the treatment one. So histopathological analysis also, it will be a good result. Which organs have been affected with the histopathology, you can easily conclude it from there.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, how did you feed the how did you feed the fermented food to the mice in your experiment?
Because there are common food is there, standard food, and for the control you just give the standard one, this food, and the treatment one you just grade one 5, 6 set will be there. So different concentration you use with that normal food plus this one. So we make the feed and then feed, and you just have to feed the rat or mice.
And is it the liquid food that you fed or the solid
No,
food?
no liquid food.
Oh, solid
Make
only.
the feed, huh? We make feed.
Acha, acha. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
okay. Welcome.
Sonali Borse want to ask one question. Dr. Sonali, please. Borse, ma'am.
Uh,
Ma'am, please provide the PDF.
Janu.
Hello, she want PDF.
okay, huh? Okay, sure. I can provide you. No problem.
You please share, ma'am. You
Yes.
please share your email ID in the
Yes,
chat
sure.
box.
Yeah, now?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the chat box.
In the chat box. Okay.
So all participants can note it down.
Yeah.
And if they desire,
Yes, they can
will-
contact.
they can contact on the mail.
Yes. We can have a discussion.
Yes. And
Thank you.
today I'm very happy that maximum participants have joined.
And actively participated in this session.
Thank you.
Correct.
Because
That
that
was
Sunday
really
we have open, and so that is the odd time in the afternoon. We have to join, and so
you have
morning I could
lecture in
not
the
connect. Yes. Morning I could not connect. Okay.
That's
Dr. Mahajan.
Really wonderful, ma'am.
Dr. Mahajan, he raised his hand. Yeah.
Nagrani
Yeah,
Mahajan
good
is
evening.
there. Yes.
Yes, good afternoon, madam,
Good
and
afternoon.
to everyone. I just had a simple question to you.
Mhm.
Is so much of fermented food people are working on, and it is all into the traditional way people are eating for themselves. They make it for themselves and consume themselves, except alcohol, wine, and all, right? So I just had curiosity, why and all they get into market, because that has a huge demand and the market is there. How about other fermented food products which have so much of health benefits? So how you people are thinking about so much of research you people are doing? What is the end vision that you have about all these things? Whether you would want them to come to market and into everybody's home, so that other
Because
people can and have
most of the slides, these are the traditional one, and people have to make it their own. But nowadays we don't have time, so prepare every day. So many people are now start business, na? That yoga and card, nowadays it is available in the market. So people are working on that. They are searching the good strain which will be beneficial to the industry. So it should be in industry. Otherwise, if we are not make all the product in the industrialization product available market, so we are just preparing at home only in a small scale. So it's not available for everyone. And because of that, nowadays that Kasundi, I have mentioned the mustard paste fermented.
Yes.
I have seen my mother and they prepare at home only. But nowadays it is available in the market. So we can buy a bottle and we can take it, consume. And even achar, the chutneys, that is in a small scale people or prepare at home. But now it is available in the market. No, so people are working and doing research, and ultimately they have the target to the entrepreneur go for a market for the industrial product and all this. So then it is available for everyone. I think young people should come forward.
Thank you so much. Should come forward to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I'm also working on the probiotics. We have patented two products.
Two products.
Yeah, one is isolated from a microbacterium and another is a Bravibacillus. and both are having immunomodulatory activities. So we
Yes,
have
yes.
patented
We have to.
the product.
Yeah.
So
Even one of our colleague, he also working, and after that leftover in that market, the cheese industry or that industry, that water is left that wastewater. He has producing electricity from that wastes. So
Okay.
one of our colleague, he also working. That bacteria, they have that microbial cell, pouch cell. So he is also working. So many people are working in different areas.
Yeah.
So that wonderful meeting to all of you.
Really, it is a wonderful lecture and wonderful meeting, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
good afternoon, ma'am. I have a question. Can I?
Yeah, just I think some problem with the Yasmin's madam video.
Okay.
You can ask the question.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Ask a question.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Like, ma'am, you have mentioned about the panta bhat, na? So, do you use any special variety of rice for that, or like, does the flora changes according to the variety of the rice
Yeah.
we use for cooking?
Especially that is the nowadays we have that more refined rice, and when your that all the now the modern variety, usually that panta bhat is it is spoiled or sometimes because of the refined one, but the traditional one, that rice it have the taste and the texture that comes good. When that is the hiding nowadays we making much more fine and white one because of the chemical treatment, so these are not comes good.
Yeah, means you mean to say that like the one which is having the less polish or unpolished rice.
Yes, the thick one rice that that rice it comes good, not all the rices.
That
Yes.
is the best variety, I feel. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Can
And
you-
your talk was really
Yeah,
wonderful
welcome.
and very informative
Thank you.
because we
Nivita?
are
Can you
like
make this
women. Yeah,
Thank you
women
so
are
much,
like,
ma'am.
we are like, one more thing I wanted to just to mention. We are being a microbiologist as well as mothers, and like we are the family runners, so that we can implement our microbiology aspect
At our home, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes,
With this,
welcome.
we conclude the session.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your valuable lecture. Thank you very much for once again
Welcome.
the Microbiology Society India.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Also.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Okay,
Bye.
good. Bye.